Welcome back to the Weekly Cup Series. I'm Eric Banghart, Manager of Global Sales here at Inovonics. Today, John King with ICT will take you through the Protege WX and GX systems integrated with Inovonics Wireless. ICT's strategy of unifying access control, intrusion detection, and even building automation into a single system is taking the globe by storm. The powerful ICT platforms paired with Inovonics' world-class commercial wireless make a formidable combination to tackle your security system needs. John is the Director of Sales in the US for ICT and will get you up to speed on these globally renowned ICT systems partnered with Inovonics Wireless. Thanks again for joining us today. John, the screen is yours.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Share my screen here. All right. Thanks for everybody giving us some of your time here. Again, my name is John King, Director of Sales for the U.S. for ICT. Before we jump into what we're all about, I do have one poll question here that I think Nikki's going to throw on the page here. If you guys wouldn't mind answering that, that would be wonderful.
No problem. They're coming in here. Question is, do you actively use ICT currently? I'm just going to give it one more moment. Okay, great. All right, let me go ahead and share these responses with you, John.
Nice. A lot of folks on here.
Great.
Great. Good. Thanks for answering those questions, everyone. A little bit about ICT. We were founded in 2003. We are a little bit different than a lot of your access control and security manufacturers, being that we are wholly owned by Hayden and Rachel Burr. They kind of got their start in Canada, running some R&D for another competing product. And once they left there, they started ICT, and we've been doing it ever since. We at ICT actually manufacture and develop all of our own hardware and our software internally. We do that out of our world headquarters, which is based in Auckland, New Zealand. We employ somewhere around 250 people in that facility there. One of the cool things about ICT is about 35% of our R&D department is dedicated to research and development. So it really allows us to spin up feature requests, integrations, and really stay ahead of that daily technological changing landscape that we live in every day. Another nice thing is that everything in the building, so production to R&D, to tech support, to sales, we kind of get that constant feedback loop, right, and helps us come up with some pretty cool products. Outside of Auckland, here in the US, our office is located in Denver, Colorado. We do have full warehousing there, inside sales, admin, really everything that you would expect us to have to be successful. Same story for us in Toronto as well as Melbourne, Australia. When we talk about ICT and why you would use our products, we came up with this tagline. It's really one solution equals maximum value. And really what that means to me from an integrator's perspective is whether you're doing a small project, right, a few doors, or 100 door or plus, right, enterprise level solution. Most integrators have a few products that they sell and support on the entry level side, and then they also have a few that they sell and support, which could be different products on the enterprise level. What we do at ICT is all the hardware is the same from the entry level solution to the enterprise level solution. So it allows you to train your technicians in a wiring schematic and so on, right? If I can install a one-door system, I can install a 1,000-door system, right? From a salesperson's perspective, if I can engineer and put together a quote on our entry-level system, I can do the same thing on the enterprise level. So it makes it very seamless, a lot easier, and again, it really gives you that maximum value and try and keep you guys more profitable, right? At ICT, we have a multitude of different products. Before we get into the different product level sets, we'll just talk about our controllers. So all of our controllers here are DIN rail mount. They all look the same, essentially, right? They all plug in. Everything does light up on those. which is great from a technician standpoint. Maybe somebody can't get to their web browser, so on and so forth, right? Without even breaking out the tools, I can see that if the Ethernet light is not lit up on the controller, for example, then I know that I don't have any network, right? We chose DIN rail format to better protect the PCB boards and have everything less or more compact, if you will. Very easy to change those out between two products, or if an expander goes bad or something like that, right? We pop out the Phoenix expanders, and then very quickly we can replace that system there. At ICT, we do also manufacture our own card readers. We have 125, 13.56, MyFair, DesFire, Bluetooth, NFC, all the different flavors for you. Keypad, no keypad, right? Mini mullion, standard mullion, and single gang size. All of our readers come with a tri-color LED, so if we wire those 485 to our controller, then we can actually control what light we want, what color scheme we want on the reader. Really, that's around showing what's behind the door, what's happening, and so on. All right. The readers have a 485 pigtail as well as an open Wiegand pigtail, so I can now use our readers on anyone else's system if I so choose. Being that ICT is unified access control and intrusion detection, we also manufacture our own arming and disarming keypads. These are very traditional in the sense where I log in there, I can arm and disarm my system, check the door status, and so on and so forth from those. We have our own full intercom line there. All of our intercoms are all SIP and VoIP rated. The two intercoms on the left of the page are kind of a one-to-one point, right? So that'll call any VoIP or SIP rated phone that you may have on site or for your customer. The two on the right are our touchscreen teleentry systems that we sell in the multifamily, multi-use environment. These are just like your old Door King or SES that kind of had the two green screen there. Essentially, you walk up to the unit, you touch the screen, I'm here to see Nikki, right? It's going to call her cell phone and let me in and so on. It's just today's touch or today's version of the same old technology there. Okay. Time for poll question number 2.
All right, poll question. Let's see. What is your average access control size? If you could give us feedback. All right, they're coming in. 40% have voted, 60% have voted, 70%. All right, we're slowing down a little bit, so I'll go ahead and end the polling. Let's see. All right, John, can you see that?
I can. Nice answer. So yeah, most people on here are 10 to 50. All
Great.
right, awesome. Thanks, guys. All right, so moving forward, at ICT, we have 2 different product sets or levels, if you will. The first one is Protege WX. Protege WX is our entry-level system. It is a browser-based solution. So there's no software that's needed. There's no server needed. Everything that resides on the controller, right? So I'm doing my programming on the controller. The end user is doing their programming, their adding cards and so on and so forth within the controller itself, okay? Being that it's browser-based, it's very easy to set up and maintain. Really, all of our products from WX to GX have been designed specifically for the end user and ease of use there. So naturally, those systems are very intuitive for those people to use, right? As far as underneath the hood of the WX system, you can see on your screen there that we can do things like 128 doors. Being that we are the unified intrusion, we can do over 500 intrusion zones. And we can do that via hardwire directly to the controller or with Inovonics wireless. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. And then we still have the same controller maximums there for all those intrusion zones and so on. WX does do elevator control. The maximum there are 32 floors and 8 elevator cabs. It comes with a mobile app and so on. There are a lot of features within WX, and again, WX is really designed for, well, 48% of you guys answered that most of your jobs are 10 to 50. And if you have a single site solution with that many doors, that is exactly what WX is designed and developed for. It's very cost effective and so on. Again, because it's browser based, I can access that system at anywhere at any time via my web browser, which looks like this, right? So very simple, intuitive to use. How it all goes together. If I show you this here, so we have our main controller here, which has a footprint of 2 doors of access control. We can measure that. We say 2 doors and not 2 readers, because if I'm doing a read in and a read out scenario, those readers get tied to the same reader port, all right? On the controller, there are 8 inputs for intrusion or monitoring other things than intrusion. Outside of the controller, we expand RS-45 to all of our different expansion units. This happens to be our most popular. That's our reader expander. That essentially has the same footprint as the controller. So 2 doors of access control and 8 inputs for intrusion detection, okay? We have a bunch of other expanders, as you can see on the screen. We've got an 8 in and a 4 out expander, a 16 zone expander. We also make our own power supplies that are DIN rail. Those are right here, and so on. So the idea is to keep everything very compact and very nice and neat inside of the enclosure. Right? If you do have any questions on WX, feel free, and you can put them on the Q&A section down here. We will have some live Q&A after the presentation and so on. Cool. So moving on to GX. GX is our enterprise level solution, and this is your standard server client operation. So I have a server on site. It can be virtual, it can be in the cloud. We sell GX in a multitude of different ways. We sell it in your traditional server method. We also sell it as a cloud hosted variety, which we call GX Cloud. And we also allow integrators to host their own GX entity or instance if they want to create their own internal cloud to gain RMR and so on. Okay. GX has been specifically designed for the end user. When we developed GX, we took a look at a lot of the products on the market today, and really one common theme kept arising that is that those enterprise level solutions have been designed and developed primarily for the integrators, right? Which makes it very hard and not user-friendly for the end user. And for us, it didn't make sense, right? It's like you go out and you buy a car and only your mechanic can really drive it. Okay, so we took a look and designed everything again for the end user. Here's an image of what the software could potentially look like there. We do have unlimited floor plans and status plans, status pages, sorry. And I can fully customize those if I need to. I can do building lockdown. I can control my doors. I can view any cameras that I may have brought into the system. I can see any of the real-time status points of any of the Inovonics things that we have in there as well. You know, if I had a security operations center and somebody had a panic alarm with Inovonics, right, and they hit that panic alarm, we could automatically zoom into that part of the building and show them where that is or whatnot and dispatch appropriately. So GX is very powerful. It pretty much can handle a lot of things you want to throw that way. As far as video integration, here's what that could potentially look like. Those are video pop-ups. Again, you know, you could tie in some sort of, you know, whether it be a motion event from Inovonics or you know, a panic button or whatever, we can auto tag video and so on and so forth and have that pop up there. Here's another image. Everything is very graphical, so I can pick different colors for any activities that are going on. Most recently was a hospital, right? If there was an infant alarm, right, the color code would be pink, so it stands out. People can see that, right, and they know what they need to do from that page. Running reports in GX is very, very simple and very easy. It can take just a few seconds to find the information that you need to. Okay? A lot of people ask me now, getting back to that one solution, maximum value, how does all this go together? It has to be different than WX. It's probably different hardware and so on and so forth. It's actually not, right? Looks familiar? Same way as WX. The GX controller has 2 doors of access control, 8 inputs for intrusion detection. All of the expansion devices here are all agnostic between WX and GX. So this allows one to put in a WX system if you want, and then upgrade to a GX system if you need to in the future by simply changing out the main controller, buying some GX software, or bringing that into the cloud or whatever we need to do. Right? All right, let's jump to poll question number 3.
Okay, great. Number 3. All right, question is, do you tie intrusion detection and access control together normally with your projects? All right, 20% have voted, 40, 50%, 60%. Okay, I think we're slowing down around 65%, so I'll go ahead and end this. All right, here are your results.
Awesome, so a vast majority. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so let's move on to some of the integrations that we do have, okay, and the differences between the 2 product sets. So these are the folks that we integrate with on a VMS level. WX will integrate to any live video stream. I simply just pull that RTSP stream from the IP camera. On the GX side is where we do our video tagging on events, and again, maybe somebody hits a panic button from Inovonics and we tag that video and save that information. These are the partners on your screen that will work with that. Okay. WX and GX also do integrate into wireless locking solutions and so on, bringing access control to a different footprint, if you will. And now for the good stuff. WX and GX both do integrate to Inovonics and Inovonics side of what Optics has in there for them. How it all works is we actually co-developed a Inovonics receiver right here. It's a 4200 model of their receiver, and it has our bit of hardware underneath the plastic there. This actually connects directly to our 485 expansion network. So it is a true integration there. There's when I can bring in all of my motions or other panic devices or door contacts or so on and so forth. One of the cool things is if I have these panic buttons and so on, it actually transmits card data, if you will. So I can actually read that as a card read, not just a panic device and so on. So we can do more things with that than just a traditional panic alarm. And then the other way is to bring that through IP. So it uses the same bit of hardware, right? We connect it through the internet to our system there, and we can pick up all of the Inovonics transmitters and so on. Pretty nice, pretty popular for us. A lot of folks do use the Inovonics primarily in the financial and banking industry for us, which is one of our biggest verticals. I would say, if not all, maybe 80 to 90% of all the installations that we do in that have some sort of wireless component, and we like the Inovonics piece there. Cool. Other integrations that we do have here is with the high-level elevator integration. This is surrounding destination dispatch and so on and so forth. Won't go in too much detail, just know that we have that. And then we also have some pretty cool custom integration tools. I did talk about how we are unified access control and intrusion detection. We can also speak building automation and control protocols like CBus and backend IP and so on. So now we can send data using that industry standard language to turn on lights, turn on, roll up your shades or whatever we need to do there. And then we have things like Active Directory, data sync services, SOAP services, and so on. Again, I won't go into too much detail. If you want to learn more, you can contact me or someone from my team afterwards. And then lastly, what we do have is our mobile solutions. So WX and GX come with a free mobile app. This will allow you to arm and disarm your intrusion system. I can control my doors, my areas, my outputs. Like I mentioned before, our Bluetooth component resides on there. Our Bluetooth runs a little bit differently than a lot of the other competitors in the market space. It's not a subscription based. It is you purchase the Bluetooth credential that gets loaded onto your phone, and that is now with you until you don't need it anymore. If I upgrade my phone, or there's some people on the call that lose their phone every so often, you have to buy a new phone, then you simply log onto your phone, you download the mobile app, you sign in, just like you would with your banking or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, right? And the same mobile credential is there. So it tends to work a little bit easier. We don't make you buy any. I know some competitors make you buy blocks of 100 and so on. You can purchase 1, 7, 15, 500. That doesn't matter to us, right? Cool. Poll question number 4.
All right, I think this is our last one. Okay. All right, our final question for you today is, do you think you would use ICT in the future? Yes, no, or maybe? All right. Wow, we're voting faster now. Look at this, 60% voted, 65%. Okay, great. I think you're gonna like this response, John. Can you see it there?
What's up with the maybe? One person? No.
That's too funny.
All right, so there's my contact details there. If you guys need to get a hold of me, again, thanks and so on. We will open it up now to any Q&A, any questions that you do have. I know you can raise your hand here, and Nikki will allow you to speak, and we'll hopefully get some questions answered.
Yes, and we did have a few questions that came in. Damon's been answering a few here and there, but a couple I think that you could answer for us, John. Let's see. Does VMS integration with, Avigilon is on ACC 7?
ACC 7 is currently under development. That should be done here relatively quickly. I know it's on 6, and that's what we support now. You know, with everything, a lot of our partners, right, they always do updates. They update their software, and then we're kind of at the mercy of when they hand us the new update for their versions, and sometimes it can be 6, 7, 8 months until we get it, and as soon as we get it, we do get the team on it and update that. So yes, it should be done at some point.
Okay, great. Next question. Can you monitor, can you monitor camera systems on the mobile app as well?
Sorry, you broke up there.
Oh, sorry about that. Question is, can you monitor camera systems on the mobile app as well?
The mobile app, what I can do there is actually see live video. So live video only will work in the mobile app.
Okay, great. And do you have any case history with hotel room integrations anywhere?
We do have a number of hotels. We typically, in that environment, we work with the back of the house sort of things there. While yes, we do integrate to hotel style locks and so on, we do not have a tie-in to booking systems. So we can do things like use the same card for the staff and all the back of the house access control things. But yeah, they wouldn't really use our system for room booking.
Okay, great. Next question. With some existing wireless systems available on the market, like Honeywell Vista Wireless, DSC, do you have options to have wireless translators to take over existing wireless components? What I'm asking is, can Inovonics translate radio? Can Inovonics have translated radio unit that transfers existing transmitters to Inovonics wireless. And this may be a good one for Eric too.
Yeah, so I know what they're talking about. Yeah, there was a product on the market by Resolution Products a few years ago that actually took the Honeywell, the DSC, the DMP, those sort of wireless transmitters, and translated those into a language that everybody can understand. The answer for Inovonics is going to be no, and the reason for that is because Inovonics runs on a secure 900 megahertz frequency. You're going to get a lot more range on that. It's again more secure and so on. You know, I don't believe, and Eric can tell me that you guys probably are not working on something like that. But if there's a product out there that can do that, it's not going to tie in directly. If it's a product that has dry contacts, for example, then yes, you could put it into our system.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just to add on there, you know, if the question is, you know, if there were transmitters and repeaters and things, you know, tied to another system, could you transition those over to an ICT system? Absolutely, you could do that. You know, that would just be rerouting some of that, but the radio translation and everything I think we're talking about, that's kind of a specialized case with a different product. But certainly you could use the same network components from us to tie into an or ICT system if you're, you know, transferring to a new head-end system here.
All right, great.
All right.
Let's see. Does WX support multiple Inovonics receivers?
Yes, yeah. So you can have the controller maximum to WX is actually 512 total inputs. So you would theoretically have 2 different Inovonics receivers because the 4200, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, does 256 total inputs. And if you needed more than that, then you would add another one, and we support the repeaters and so on and so forth. So.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And then at GX, it would be unlimited, because there is no limit to any inputs or outputs with GX.
Gotcha.
Hey, John, I'm just going to jump in there. The Inovonics receivers actually support up to 500 points.
Oh, they
So-
do. Okay.
Yeah, in WX, you've got a maximum of 500. You can add, you know, multiple receivers, but your total input count still can't exceed 500.
Thanks for clarification.
Let's see. Next question. Does ICT integrate with any video management platforms?
Can you repeat that?
Oh, sorry about that. Am I still breaking up? Let's see. Does ICT integrate with any video management platforms?
Video management platforms?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, that was the screen I showed. Right here. So these are all the VMS partners that GX integrates directly with.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next question. Do we need a license to use Inovonics receivers?
The answer is twofold. If you purchase the Inovonics receiver and transmitters and so on through ICT in our channel, then no, there is no license. The only time you would need a license is if there are existing Inovonics wireless, say we're taking over a financial institution and they already have that, then yes, there is a license per endpoint. Or if you decide to purchase Inovonics directly through, you know, your channel or their channel, and then bring that into ICT.
Okay, great. Next question is with the current Inovonics transmitter line, do you have more choice with smaller sizes and compact versions, not big ones you currently have? Does that make sense?
That's probably a question more for us. So yeah, as far as on the, you're probably referring to the pendant transmitters. Our standard line, you know, the smallest is the EN 1223 series, water resistant, somewhat mobile to carry in pocket. and meant for, to be moved around a little bit. Our larger kind of pager style pendant buttons, although not beautiful, they are very effective and can house a very large battery. All of our pendants and transmitters are designed for 1 to 5 years of battery life on anything. So it does kind of help us in that regard. I don't want to give you a false hope that we'll have something new very soon, but there are some things in development and on our roadmaps to modernize some of our pendant transmitter line. And over the next couple of years, you'll probably see some modifications and updates there. But for right now, it's the traditional line. We do have a different market that we deploy a smaller pendant into in the senior care, but there's some features to it that aren't quite appropriate for security use yet. So stay tuned. We'll get some things out there over the next couple of years.
Okay, great. We only have a couple last questions here for you, John. Does ICT partner with JCI as a security vendor? Was that up on your slide? I'm sorry.
We do have some partners, or I should say some offices of the JCI wing that do sell and support ICT. As far as a national rollout, no, we have not gotten to that level. But I believe we are loaded in their system, and if people need to get trained and certified and so on, we can certainly work down that path.
Okay, great. And then our last question is actually a hand raised. It's Jeff Larson. Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and click to allow you to talk. If you'd like, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, I accidentally pressed the hand raise. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay, no worries. No problem.
With the buttons, Jeff.
Well, I think with that, gosh, Damon, I don't know if you see any others coming through. I don't want to miss anybody, but I will go ahead and I'll make sure we export all questions asked, so we follow up with anybody else. Oh, I'm sorry, I have one more hand raised. Let's go ahead and give Mark a try here. Mark, you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you'd like to ask a question.
I just wanted to ask, do you have your own mobile credentials for access?
Yes, we do. That's our own Bluetooth and NFC component. And again, touched on it briefly before, there are no minimum quantities to order. It is not locked to the MAC address of your phone. So if I upgrade my phone or need a new one, I certainly download our mobile app on there, log into it, and the same credential is there. Yeah, we kind of treat it the same way as a normal credential in that aspect. There are a number of ways that it operates. One is you can shake your phone within a certain distance, right, which will open up the door there, as well as a proximity. And in the mobile app, we also allow you to control the Bluetooth strength and really dial in how the system's supposed to work for you.
And you mentioned that the panic button transmitted RS-485 and you could do more things with it. What kind of things were you thinking of?
So the panic buttons will transmit in a card data format, right? So, I could use, instead of using it as a traditional panic button in that sense, right? I could just use that as my button to open up a gate, right? And you'll get that card data in to open up a gate or a roll door, or maybe I'm using their 4-button transmitter, right? And one is for one gate, the other button's for another one, another door to open, and then the 4th button is in fact the panic button, right? So because we get that direct integration there, it kind of allows you to do more than just your traditional, this is, Inovonics labels as a panic device. Yes, it can be, but we can also do more than that.
I did have a couple more sneak in here for you, John. Sure. Next question is, does ICT support dry contact input from readers?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and then I'm not sure if this is a question or a comment. It says, so mention only live views on cameras, but not playback.
So in the WX, which is our entry-level solution, it is only live video. And the reason for that is because that is a browser-based solution. There is no server involved. We're not talking from one server to another, okay? However, in our enterprise level Protege GX, it is a server-based solution. So there is most definitely a video tagging, VMS tie-in, and so on and so forth of what you're talking about.
Okay, and then does the ICT support OSDP v2 secure channel?
Yes, so on the controllers and the reader expanders, we do support OSDP. Soon to come, that'll actually be on our readers as well.
Okay, great. All right, I think that's everything I've got for you, John. If we have more questions come through, I can make sure we follow up via email.
Okay.
I do wrap things up and send things back over to Eric here. I did want to go ahead and share in our chat section. If you hover your mouse towards the center and click the chat button, if you haven't already, I went ahead and I shared a link, just inviting you to join us next week. Next Tuesday, we'll be speaking with Flair for Inovonics Weekly Cup. President Morgan will be discussing Flair Innovative Sensors and LED alarm panels powered by Inovonics. You can use that link to register if you'd like to join us again. But thanks for coming this morning, and I will just pass it over to Eric to announce our attendee winners today.
Okay, excellent. Well, much thanks to John and Damon behind the scenes there. Great insight to the ICT product line, and thanks again for being great partners with Inovonics. ICT is certainly an emerging global leader in this unified system approach. With that, here are the coffee card winners for signing up or joining today's presentation. Howard Miles with ADT, Frank Spitzer with Sympatico, and Jean-Luc Chaput, I'm sure I butchered that one, sorry about that, with EECOL Electric. Thanks again for joining us. Please reach out to John and his team or our territory managers for more information on this great partnership. Please take care, and we'll catch up with you again next week on the Weekly Cup. Cheers.